Hello, FlossTube. Today is Thursday, April the 1st, 2021. My name is Shelly, and this is my channel, Proverbs 31:22, where I share about my stitching life. Two things. I'm filming in a different location than normal, and I won't film here all the time, but I had a catastrophe. And so I'm filming in here to show you what happened, sort of. The other thing is that I've been thinking about doing a vlog style video. Not one that would be uploaded daily, but one that I would film a little bit every day and then upload it at the end of the week, sort of like Christine with Stitch All the Things does. A number of reasons for me wanting to do it like that. The most trivial of all, sorry, my printer's making noise, is that it may make me, like, get up and get dressed and, get ready for the day. I've been trying to do that anyway, just, I don't know, sort of like a boost to help me feel better about myself or my situation. I don't know. But anyway, that would kind of force me to do that even more so. More than that, though, I just feel like it's kind of overwhelming. Like if you do FlossTube, you know what I'm talking about. To have to get everything ready for, showing a week's worth of stitching is a lot. And it's a lot of like getting it all ready and then putting it all away when you're done. So I feel like if I did it in bite-size, daily size chunks, that might not be so bad. Like at the end of the day, when I get finished stitching, I can, lay out my pieces that I stitched on that day, put them to show, and then show them, and then put them away the next day, so that it's not, putting away 15 projects that I worked on. I'm just putting away a little bit every day instead of a lot in one chunk. Another reason, and I don't know if this will happen or not, but if I start working again outside the home, I feel like it would be easier to stitch on a daily basis and just, hopefully they'll be just little short snippets. This one's going to be a little bit longer just because I'm explaining all of this and I need to share what I did 2 days. So a little bit of a life update. That's another reason too, is that it will help me to just sort of remember what happens, without having to think real hard about it while it's fresh in my mind. So I filmed Monday. I didn't upload it until, I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. But anyway, after I got done filming on Monday, I did get a call from one of the employment agencies that I'm registered with, and they said that someone wanted to interview me on Wednesday. So I did go on that interview yesterday, and it's for a marine construction company. The commute would be about 10 minutes, which is fabulous. It is 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, so that's not terrible. It's not the medical field, so that's a plus in my book. And the only thing I'm not sure about is that they were really looking for someone who has experience with Excel. I know how to do some things in Excel. I mean, I use it to, I've been using it lately to keep track of my list of cross-stitch whips. just so that I could easily go in and sort and see how many finishes I had, for a certain period of time. I know that Teresa Little Stitcher, she goes above and beyond and has it where it's set up to count it all for her, on a monthly basis and on a yearly basis. I'm not that good at Excel. I don't know a lot about doing the formulas and etc. So, I was honest with them. I don't have any experience, much experience. The most that I've used it for is, just sort of like a table sort of thing. So I'm not sure about that part. They also need someone who's, you know, familiar with QuickBooks. I've used QuickBooks before. I came home yesterday and watched videos. Um, I don't, I wouldn't have any problem whatsoever learning that. The Excel, I'm not so sure about because when I've tried to do tutorials, it's just kind of like, what? So, anyway, we'll see what happens with that. I did go yesterday also and get a haircut with the new girl. I liked her, and I'm not sure. Like, I kind of showed her a picture of where I want it to go with it. My hair has that, body in the back, and she did cut it pretty short in the back, but she didn't want to cut it too short because of where I'm wanting to go with my style, which is sort of a rounded sort of tapered cut in the back. So, she said eventually the top part would get long enough where it would hide all of that curl at the bottom. So, it's better today when I styled it than when she did. It was still kind of sticking out, so I wasn't sure. And she said I could go back, and she would, if I have to, I'll go back and just have her really cut this short, like almost shave it, and then just wait until this part grows out to cover it up. So anyway, it was definitely a lot easier to style this morning. I didn't have to straighten it and just blow dried it and put some product in it and good to go. Okay, so I did go to Michael's on Tuesday. I had looked in the app, and they said that they had some of those little carts that I talked about in my last video, that they had some in stock. So I go, it's about a 40-minute drive or so. Get there, go to the section where, they have those carts, and I'm like, oh my God, do they not have any? I kind of panicked and, just, okay, I gotta check for sure. Looked around some more, looked up, and there was one left on the very top shelf. So, thank you, Lord, So I did get that, brought it home, got it put up. I got all of my quilting current whips in that. It works fantastic for it. It works great for holding my stuff just like I thought it would on top. I got my cross stitch whips put in the tall tower that I had my quilting whips in prior to that. It definitely takes up less floor space, so I'm happy about that. I did have to make a decision on cross stitch whips, which is not a bad thing because honestly I had too many that were like in my rotation, so they wouldn't all fit in the cart, and I really wanted them to fit in the cart. So just so I didn't have stuff, on the floor or anything, and then also just because it seems like a more manageable number of whips that are active. So I did have to kind of make a decision. One that was an easy decision to make was my little sheep virtues, which I don't think I talked about this in my last video, but one of the groups that I'm in, one of the members finished it, and a lot of people finish it where there's like 12 virtues, and I was going to do it 3 across, 4 down. But there is a variation online that other people have stitched, and they've done the 12 sort of in a rectangle, and they've done another, usually a Country Cottage Needleworks piece in the middle that has sheep. And so I'd seen that when I first already had started mine, and it was like, I really liked that a lot. And then I saw someone, in a group recently that did it again, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna rip this other one out because I'd messed up the border, so I was having to rip out the border anyway. I haven't really gotten that much stitching on it. I never do that. I never like trash a project or abandon it or restart it. I just don't do that. But this one I am going to do that, so I'll have to rethink that. But that one went away. Some other ones, just like I had a lot of chalk fulls. I just decided to just put one chalk full in the active whip, tower, and go with that. So also, while I was at Michael's, they still have their spring pick things on sale. So I did pick up a couple. I picked up this small one with some pretty roses that I thought would look really well with my Feels Like Home piece, which has roses in it. And then I picked up this little berry type of spray. Whenever I go into places, I don't know what to do. Like, I just get overwhelmed, and I'm thinking about cost, and I'm thinking about what would look really well with it. I'm thinking about the fact that I don't have pieces to put it on. So do I really want to buy stuff to do it? But I would like to have like a little stash of finishing stuff. So I don't know. That's all I picked up. I did notice yesterday when I went to Dollar General that they have some really cute little, spring artificial flowers. So I may, start picking up some from there. And I almost did, because I'd seen some in Michael's that I thought would look really well with my Prim and Proper piece. And they were just I felt like it was overpriced. It was sort of a bigger bush, which I didn't really need all of it. But they had something similar at Dollar store, but I wasn't sure. Like, I couldn't remember exactly what I had bought from Michael's. So, but I can go back. I mean, it's like 2 minutes from my house. I also picked up this ribbon from Michael's to also use on my Feels Like Home to make a bow. And that's all my haul. The reason I'm filming in here is because after I got finished videoing Monday, I was working on that canopy. Started working on that canopy piece. So I have this big, you can see it right here. This big white thing is a big giant cutting board. I pull that out occasionally when I have big things like that to, put on my big table in my craft room to cut things. So we had taken that out, and I did cut, did the trimming that I needed to do in the canopy. And I came back in here and put that away. So on the wall right here, I did have a shelf that went, across here, that had all of, like, I have vases that had, like, springtime stuff, Easter stuff, fall stuff, Christmas stuff, either vases or mason jars, as well as that piece of Mardi Gras glass that I got at the Salvation Army store a while back. My little bunnies, just different little finishing pieces. and it had hooks on it, and I had the things that are hanging right there, on the hooks. And I knew when I was putting it in, and I had trouble putting that board back in there, I was like, this is not an ideal spot, but I knew I ordered that shelf that I was talking about from Home Depot, so that will be in here later. So I was like, this is just temporary. I'm going to rearrange stuff pretty soon. So I'll put it away, finally got it in there, walked out of the room. About 5 minutes later, I heard this tremendous crash, and the shelf had fallen, and jars broke. My little Mardi Gras glass piece broke. And so then I had to clean up the mess of broken glass everywhere. And I was just like, I was heartbroken, because that piece broke, as well as, it was annoying having to clean that all up. But anyway, so that's sort of why I filmed in here. Okay, enough jibber jabber. Let's talk about some stitching. So, since I've videoed, I have worked on my sows that I'm doing. And I thought I had this ready. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't. Let's see. So I worked on the Sense and Sensibility sow. Sorry, I'm using a different light because of the lighting in this room. So it's going to take me a minute to adjust to how I have to hold things. But this is the Sense and Sensibility from Stitching Book Club. And I did just do a little bit on this piece. So I started doing the lower right, the lower left. I think I put it on my sheet as right. But anyway, I just did a little bit of stitching. And that's on 28 count even weave that I hand dyed. And let's see. I also worked on the Shine On sow, which is Bonnie and Camille, and is being hosted by Fat Quarter Shop. I just got a very little bit done on this. So I started working on this next motif, and as when I finished this one, I had a piece of thread left, so I came over and finished that X. I am behind on it, but it's okay. 28 count even weave white as well with the call for Cosmo flosses. I also worked on the Serendipity sow, which is from Fat Quarter Shop also. And looks like that. And all I did on this was just fill in the grain on this, started filling in the grain on this second motif that I'm working on. You'll see that I did my nails. I haven't done my nails in months and months and months. I finally did my nails. I'm rediscovering all my, makeup and stuff and jewelry. So that's all I did on that. I haven't gotten a lot of stitching done on the sows because I was really pushing hard to get a finish on my Quaker de Noël, which I will show in a minute. So I also worked on my monthly magazine monthly challenge pieces. I never can remember how to say it. So on Monday night, I worked on some Christmas stuff, the Nativity silhouette, and this is on 14 count chalkboard block Ada. And so I got all of that purple color completely done on both sides. So now I can move on to something different. I mean, I love purple, but you know how it is when you're working on the same color over and over. And then I also worked on the blackwork squirrel ornament, which I'm making for my grandson. And blackwork is addictive. Like, you just can't stop. So I did go ahead and I finished his whole body, and I started doing the outline on him. And I think this is going to be so cute. So cute. That's on a 14 count navy Aida. Same cloth as Serendipity is on. Sorry guys, you don't want to see my bra strap. So that's what I stitched on, other than my Quaker de Noël. And this is the pattern. It's a pattern by Jardin Privé. And, you know, my video Monday, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get a finish or not. But I really, really wanted to get a finish. And I did. Last night, I stitched on this. This is all I stitched on last night. So I got a finish. Yay! I'm going to be ready for some Christmas decorating. Got to FFO it still, but anyway, I love it. I just love it. It's stitched on 14 count opalescent white Aida that I got from Hobby Lobby. I used Razzleberry from Classic Colorworks for the main color. The words are in Jolly Holly from Classic Colorworks, and I still didn't look up and see what this tree is. So in my last video, I talked about how I wasn't 100% sold on, even though I wanted to sign my work in some kind of way, I wasn't 100% sold on stitching it. So on that video, Cheryl from Happy Handcraft Studio, which if you don't watch her, please go watch her. She is a fabulous stitcher, and I just love seeing all the stuff she works on, and I just love it. So go check her out. But she said that, you know, she said stitch it, stitch your name in it, and she said that she'll use, you know, threads that will sort of blend in so they don't stand out real well. So when I got finished with this last night, I just decided to put what I do is my first and middle initials, and then my last name, and then the year. So I figured just right there in the same color as the letters, that I would just put my name right there above the Christmas part. I mean, and you know, I feel like it blends in enough. I guess I don't, you know, like if you just put it down at the bottom, it just seems like it's sort of, I don't know. I guess I want it to be more part of the design. So yeah, I got to finish. So that makes 6 finishes for my March Mayhem of old outstanding whips. I did also finish my Prim and Proper Sal. So, and I forgot last time I missed one. So I finished the Ho Ho Home, Thankful by Jan Hicks, Bloomtopia from Fat Quarter Shop, Mary Jar from Chalkful, Priscilla, and Hands On Design. That's the one I forgot last time, I believe. The Feels Like Home from Fat Quarter Shop, and then this one from Jardin Privé, as well as the Prim and Proper Sal and my little April piece. So that's 8 finishes for March. I'm pretty excited about that. Very excited about that. So last thing, 2 more things. So last time I talked about whether or not I was going to stitch Jessie Watson. I went and watched Raspberry Stitcher's video. What she's going to do is she's going to do a video once a month, specifically on autism for the SAL, which runs from today through next April. I think I had already decided to do it. Maybe I didn't. I think her video really, it would have if it didn't. It convinced me for sure. I was like, yes, I definitely want to participate in this. So I did go and purchase the pattern. It's a little gem download PDF from Hands Across the Sea. And that's the pattern. And I got all the threads that I needed the other day when I went to Michael's. I think I was lacking one of them. And I just started kitting it up. It didn't get very far last night after I got finished with Cracker Donut Well. It was kind of late, so I did get all of my DMCs that I've bought recently tagged. And, you know, I said I thought I was about 25 away from having a full set, and it's more than that. But anyway, this is my little thread legend. Basically, I took the PDF and cut this from the PDF, cut this from the PDF, and then pasted it in Word. And then I will cut them apart, and then I will washi tape them onto here so that I can put the colors on this project card. And I am going to stitch it on this this 32 count with shout linen in the color white chocolate. So I will finish kitting that up today and get a start on it today. I was just going to show this is my calendar for March, and all of the highlighted parts are parts that I got accomplished. And you can see a lot of my magazine monthly challenge pieces just fell by the wayside. But this is my list of things that I finished, so I think it was worth it to not stitch a whole lot and get some, you know, on other things and get some finishes. Normally by this point I would have already started planning April. I'm sorry, I know that probably made a lot of noise, but I haven't yet. But look at this, how pretty. And it, you know, I don't know, just that pristine, filled in calendar kind of gave me a little thrill this morning with all these pretty flowers. So normally I would have started planning April, but I haven't yet. So I plan to do that today. So that's all I've got for today. I will, you know, like I said, I'll vlog style the rest of this and then put them all together and upload them probably on Sunday. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. Hello, everybody. Today is Friday, April the 2nd, and I'm here to share what I stitched yesterday. I'm back in my normal filming location for today's video, and instead of putting a quilt on the wall, I thought I would put the things that I have finished this year. So I like looking at all that. It'll be nice when I get it all FFO'd. Yep, it looks good. I like it. So I do, you know, I have more than what's up there. I'm just remembering because I've finished some smalls that I have in a different place. So I'll have to add more for tomorrow's video. But anyway, yesterday I did go ahead and do my planning for the month of April. I didn't fill in a whole lot of things as far as goals for each piece, but I did go ahead and fill in, you know, each category of what I want to work on. So the magazine monthly challenges, the Jesse Watson SAL, and then the SALs that I'm doing with Fat Quarter Shop, which is Serendipity and Shine On, and then my stitching book club some days, and then my weekly rotation categories. So I did spin the wheel for the whole month and determine what my weekly focus pieces will be for each week, and then also what my daily little category pieces will be. And I just realized I didn't spend for these two first Mondays, but I'll have to go back and do that and add it in. So what I stitched on yesterday, I stitched a little bit on this this gray motif for the Serendipity, and that's all I got done. I basically just stitched on each piece maybe 15 minutes. We did have to do grocery pickup yesterday, and we went into town and had supper together, so I stitched more on my stitching book club, and I was able to get more of this little swirl done. So the color that's along the inside of this, it's very similar to the fabric color, and she did warn us that it would be really close, but that's the look she was going for. So this piece is so pretty. I'm not going to share patterns or anything unless it's something that I haven't stitched on before or showed in one of the previous videos, the vlog videos for the week. And then I stitched on Shine On, and so I started stitching on this motif, which is a pretty big quilt block. And I mean, I made my way all the way down to the bottom of it and then started coming back up and realized that I had miscounted on this square right here. So I had put an extra row of 3 in this block. So I had to basically just ripped everything out and started over again. So I would have had more progress to show if that hadn't happened, but I did stitch a little bit on the April Flowers design, which is my main theme piece for the magazine monthly challenge for April. And this design is like 60 by 60, and there's so many colors in this little design. I was kind of taken aback a little bit. Let me see if I can easily find my sheet for it. Yeah, here we go. So this is the list of colors that chart uses when it's 60 by 60. I think that's a little over the top, but, and I've just started, I haven't even really filled this all the way out. And I'm just gonna sort of use the colors that I used on the previous one of these I started, and then I will just add more flosses as I need to if they're, you know, different from what was in the flowers for February. And these are the colors. So, and there are some that are different than that one, so I'll have to do some adjusting as I go along. So I did start stitching on the Jesse Watson SAL, and I will grab this pattern just to show you. So the way she has it divided out is April. We're going to stitch the part above this little dividing line right here. So the border from here and then this row of like swirly things. So I counted everything out, and I determined that I basically can stitch one berry and the vines around it a day through like the 14th, and then I'll stitch one of these swirls a day, and then for the rest of the month I'll go back and fill in the, you know, the border frame, the frame that goes around the border. So hopefully I can keep on track because it's just small little pieces each day. I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to stop at one because I absolutely love this. I would have kept stitching on this, but it was time for us to leave to go to town, and so when I got back I just picked up my other sows that I'm working on. But that's my progress from yesterday. And that this is the red that those berries are stitched with, and that it's gorgeous. So that's DMC 498. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's what I stitched on yesterday, and did my plans for the month. And that was pretty much it. My husband's home from work today. It is Good Friday. And I told him this morning it's going to mess me up with my days because it seems like it's Saturday since he's home. So we don't have any plans, so I'll probably just stitch and try to catch up on some FlossTube. I'm kind of behind again, so. Okay, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hey, everybody. Today is Saturday, April the 3rd, and I'm here to do my daily update. So I did go through my smaller finishes, and I also realized that the yellow one with all the little squares that I put on, I actually finished that at the end of December last year, so I had to take it down. But so I was able to go in and find these little smalls that I had finished. So yeah, that's all of my finishes. Not all of my finishes. The ones that I've FFO'd are not up there, but those are all the ones that I've finished this year, stitching wise. So last night I got a text from my friend Melissa, and she said, go watch Niecy Lynn's video because she shouted you out. So I went, and she said it's in the first 5 minutes, so I went and watched it, just so I could see that part, and I'll go back and watch the rest of it later. But anyway, the reason why she talked about me was she's been having problems with her sewing machine, and so I shared a little bit of my story. So she was saying, you know, she just was floored that that was my story because, you know, I usually have the quilts on the wall behind me. So, a little bit about my, I guess, my evolution as a stitcher. So my mom wasn't crafty at all, but my dad's mom, who I spent a lot of time with in my early days, she was. She did, you know, she made nets, like fishing nets. She crocheted, she sewed. I don't know if she tatted it or not because making the nets is sort of the same motion with tatting, but I don't remember her tatting. But anyway, she did a lot of things, and I did sew some with her, but not a whole lot. I wasn't really into it when I was little. But when we first got married, I had a sewing machine that was from JCPenney, just like, you know, cheapo, $150, something like that. And I would, you know, get on it and try to sew, you know, clothing for me and our daughters. And it got to the point where, you know, my husband would just sort of cringe when I got the machine out because I would always end up like in tears of frustration because nothing ever worked right. And, the whole time I thought, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong? Why can't I do this? And I don't know at what point it was, but probably at least a year, maybe more. Um, a fabric store opened up in the little town that we lived in Louisiana. And I started going there. And I don't remember if I took classes or what, but anyway, they demonstrated a machine to me, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not me. So I ended up buying a new machine, a baby lock, from that store, and it was like night and day. Sewing wasn't tears of frustration. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still get frustrated because some things, are hard to figure out or whatever, but the mechanical part of it wasn't frustrating anymore. So when I had that little first machine, I'd drag it out and put it on our dining room table. So when I got the nicer machine and started selling more, my husband converted. We had like a master with 2 closets, and he converted the smaller closet into my little sewing room. And so he just put a board, across the whole width of it. And I had my sewing machine there. And when I want to sew, I just open the closet doors, the bifold doors, and sit there and sew. So this is sort of my evolution of, going from, sewing on the dining room table to where I am now. When we moved in Louisiana, we moved to an older home in Louisiana, just minutes from where we were. And at the top of the stairs, there was a loft. That was my sewing area. And then we moved to Alabama. We moved into a smaller sort of rent house, but they had converted the dining room into a bedroom, and it was big enough for both of our girls to stay in there. So I had, another bedroom that was my sewing room plus a guest room. And, we moved again, and it was same thing. We had an extra bedroom to use for my sewing room. We moved again to this house, and it was just us living here. So one of the bedrooms was my sewing room. And I don't know what I did when my aunt moved in. I honestly don't remember. My aunt lived with us for a period of about 6 months or so in 2016. And I honestly don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know what I did. I'm drawing a complete blank. I mean, I guess my sewing stuff was just still in there. We had to make, room for her. So I guess my sewing room just, my sewing stuff just stayed in that extra room. So probably about 2 years ago now, we moved my sewing room into this room, which is the actual master of this house. So I'd have a lot more space. I was able to get, this this built-in sewing cabinet type thing. I was able to make room for all of the pieces of furniture that I already had. Plus, I was able to, like before, I had one surface, the surface that this computer's sitting on, which is a large board that sits on top of bookcases. And that was like my ironing, cutting. At one point, I even had my sewing machine on it. So I was able to get another cutting surface so that this is, dedicated just for ironing and basically accumulate stuff. It's also great for like wrapping gifts and stuff. But anyway, so all that to say that if you, have a machine that gives you fits, don't think that it's you. Maybe it's the machine. And I did, comment on Niecy Lynn's video and say, I was so frustrated with that machine, thinking that I was doing something wrong. And a lot of people were like commenting to her, that, this could make problems and this could make problems. And I'm like, maybe, but if you have a good machine, maybe that would eliminate a lot of that. Because, like, some of the things that they were saying, like, if you don't sew smoothly, that it messes up the timing of your machine, and she was talking about how she goes slow and fast and slow and fast. I don't know. I don't sew smoothly all the time, so I've never heard that that can mess up the timing of your machine. I don't know. Anyway, if you're frustrated with your sewing, it could be your machine. So I would just recommend to go visit a dealer, bring some practice things to, try out on their machine, maybe some things that have given you frustration, and see if a new machine wouldn't make a difference. So that's my story. But thanks, Niecy Lynn, for shouting me out and talking about my quilts and stuff. So okay, so what I stitched on yesterday. I stitched on all of my sals and my little magazine monthly challenge piece. So you won't start seeing anything different until next week when I start. Next week I'll start back with my weekly focus piece and my daily rotation pieces. So you'll start seeing some different things next week. But first up is the Stitching Book Club. And I was able to get, I want to say this is the majority of that one side, the final part on one side. There may be like a few stitches right here that I didn't do because they sort of feed into the next section. I always sort of divide my patterns into sections to sort of give me goals of, like this release, I divided it into 3 parts. And I knew I had until April 17th to finish those 3 parts. So it kind of helps me to gauge, whether I need to speed up my stitching or if I'm okay and can, work on some other things. So these are the threads, which is called for DMC. And I can't wait till this is finished. I don't know how I'm going to FFO it, but you can see I have quite a few things waiting to be FFO'd in the wings. And then I stitched on Fat Quarter Shop's sal that they're hosting with the Bonnie and Camille Shine On sampler. And so I was able to go ahead and finish that motif that I messed up on the day before yesterday. I did some more of these little flying geese. And then I came over here. I had a little bit of this green thread left, so I came over here and did this next the next part, the start of the next part. So there's like one more motif right here that has already supposed to have been finished, and so I'm still a little bit behind, but I am getting caught up. And these are the call for not DMC, Cosmo flosses. I really like stitching with them. I don't think I'm gonna like totally get rid of my DMC and move to Cosmo, but I like their floss a lot. Oops, sorry I bumped you. And I also stitched some on Bloomtopia, not Bloomtopia, that was last year's, Serendipity, which is Fat Quarter Shop's fundraiser for Make-A-Wish. And I went ahead and finished that and then filled in the green on both those two. They have released the second part, which is the row of flying geese right here. And I did go download that. These are free patterns. But they do ask for a donation to Make-A-Wish. And, I'm doing this new format, so I may, like, repeat some things that don't need to be repeated, because I guess in my mind I'm still thinking, you know, individual videos. But anyway, just bear with me till I get used to this. I do like it. I do like so far doing it like this. Um, it's a lot easier to get ready for it. And I did do some more stitches on my magazine monthly challenge focus piece, which is going to be it's the April flowers of the year. And so I just did some more stitching on the border. And then I stitched a little bit more on my Jessie Watson SAL, which is the Jessie Watson Autism SAL that's hosted by Raspberry Stitcher. And that's what I got done yesterday. So yeah, I had a hard time stopping. I wanted to just keep going. And you know, when I got done stitching, I realized this one right here, it's not supposed to have a hole in the middle of it. It's supposed to be stitched just like these. I don't know how I read the pattern wrong, but I think I'm going to leave it. And I think I'll do all 4 corners like that, because that is the corner motif. So I think I'm just going to leave it. Otherwise, you know, I have to just do one little bitty confetti stitch. And I don't think it's worth it to fix that. I mean, I think it looks okay like it is. So, what else did I do yesterday? I got in it's like a media shelf, a metal media shelf that I ordered, you know, in my quest to get everything sort of organized better. I had ordered that from Home Depot. It wasn't exactly what I was thinking it would be, but it did fit in my my little office that's attached to my craft room, which is where I have all of my finishing supplies. It did fit in that area, and I was able to, you know, revamp things and make things fit a little bit better in there. I'll probably take a video that I will attach. I don't know if I'll do it on this video or not. I may want to get a few more things situated in there. But anyway, I did do that. We put it up yesterday, and I spent some time getting, you know, things moved off the shelf that was in its place, and then putting that in place and putting stuff on the shelf. But the biggest, like, yay, is it made room on my other, like I have a big utility shelf that holds all of my quilting, kitted up stuff. And I wanted to make room on that shelf for my dyeing supplies, because they were just in a container on the floor in my office, like underneath my desk at my feet. And I don't like that. So I wanted to make room for that. And I did. I was able to get enough stuff off of that and onto that smaller media shelf to make room for my dye supplies. So slowly but surely it is getting organized. And I'll probably just wait and do a little video after everything's sort of how I want it. So yeah, that's it. I will film again tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. So today is Sunday, April the 4th, Easter Sunday, for those of us who celebrate. And I'm here to wrap up my week of stitching with you guys. And I do have a little giveaway, just something that I ran across while I was cleaning out my vanity. I finally got that project completely done yesterday. Yay! So I'm like rediscovering all my jewelry and makeup and stuff. So this is what I found. So at once upon a time I used Bare Minerals, and this is a unopened Bare Minerals Warmth. Now this is probably, I don't know, 10 years old. So it's not new, but it is, you know, unopened. And if anybody would like it, just let me know below that you would like it, and I'll draw a name if more than one person says they want it, and we'll do the announcement next week. So we did go to Dollar General yesterday, and I was telling y'all that they had some little greenery, some little flowers and stuff. So this is the one that I had seen previously that I thought would look good with the prim and proper, sort of that brown center with the pink flowers. So we'll see. But anyway, I picked that up, and then I wanted to show y'all something that I discovered this week that I forgot to show you last time. I think it was on Instagram that it popped up. But it's this set of 3 Jane Austen novels. No, it's a set of 3 novels, 2 by Jane Austen, 1 by Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre. And they are illustrated by one of my favorite artists, Marjolaine Baston. I'm trying to get to the Pride and Prejudice one. Look at that cover. Just the cover is like, wow. They do have them available in hardback, as well as some of them are available in Kindle editions. So I haven't decided. I like the idea of having the hardback, but then again, it would be pretty to look at on the screen as well. So this is Emma. I mean, and the illustrations don't really have anything to do with the book. It's just her illustrations in it, which I love her illustrations. So that's Jane Eyre. So yeah, check those out. I'll have them linked below. So what I stitched yesterday. Let me grab a board. So I stitched on my monthly magazine piece, the April Flowers of the Year. I love this piece so much. Look at those flowers and the colors. Oh my word, I love it. So I had the border done, and then yesterday I worked on starting the flowers, and I really didn't want to stop stitching on it. This one is supposed to go away. Next in my magazine monthly challenge pieces is supposed to be the February flowers. And let's see. Actually, it's not. So that's my weekly focus piece, is the February flowers. So I may actually keep working on this one instead of the February one. And then I worked on my my SALs that I've been working on. I didn't work on Stitching Book Club, but I did work on Shine On, and started stitching this block right here. I got a good bit done. I love seeing all the colors being used. I didn't make any mistakes, so I didn't have to frog anything, so that's always good. And I haven't, had pieces of thread long enough to go in and fill these in. But of course I will fill them in before I'm done with it. Isn't it so pretty? I just love it. So I stitched on that, and I will continue to stitch on that this coming week. I stitched one more motif on Serendipity, and I had a little bit of the thread left, so I started working on the next, just one little piece of thread that I had left over on the next release, which is was released on the 1st. So I plan to finish this row this week, and then like I'm gonna do a half a motif a day until I'm done. I think there's 3 more, and then I'll start working on the second release. So hopefully I'll get, according to what I have planned out, I will get it caught up before the 15th when the next one drops. And then I worked on the Jessie Watson stitch along for autism awareness. And I got some more of the berries and the vines, and then I really wanted to see some of the other colors, so I just picked one that was close to what I had stitched and went ahead and stitched one of the swirls. I love this piece. This is the first Hands Across the Sea sampler that I've stitched. I've started on Elizabeth Weston. I've bought a couple of them when they've had fundraisers and things like that, and you know, some of their little gems. But this is, I guess, the Elizabeth Weston. I don't know, it has sort of maybe non-traditional sampler colors because it's like a lot of pink and stuff. So I love stitching this with the red and the green. So that is what I stitched on yesterday. I did get my coriander Christmas block, the next block cut out. This is block 8. And hopefully I will be able to work on that this week. So let's see. Try to cover up the pertinent information, but this is the block. So I will hopefully get to work on that this week. What else for this week? I'm going to do, weekly focus piece again, my daily rotation. So you'll start seeing some different things coming out, as well as continuing the current stitch alongs that I've got going. So that's it I have for the week. Our family's coming over today for Easter to boil shrimp, and just spend the day together. So I try to just keep it simple with desserts. I bought a variety of cookies, and I'm going to make a grape salad as soon as I get off of here. Of course, I bought a little bit of Easter candy. I always buy, even my grown-up kids and their partners, Easter bunnies, and then, of course, the grandkids. So I don't know if I've said before, but my younger daughter, her fiance, has a 4-year-old, and so his name is Mikey, and so they will be here today as well. And Emily said she was going to bring some eggs to hide and hunt, so that'll be fun. So that's all I have, you guys. So I will get this closed out and put all together, and I will start filming again tomorrow, a new week. This video will be put together and uploaded today. Don't know if it'll finish uploading today, but I will start uploading it today. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the coming week. Love you guys. Bye.